Hi there, Mike Perez with Mastering the Young Band. For our first video today, I want to start off with a beginner tip for you, and that is the band binder. Getting your kids organized with their band binder from that first week of school is essential. These past couple of years, I didn't do as good a job getting my students organized during the pandemic, and it seemed like every week I was telling the kid to get something organized in their binder. So take the time to do this correctly the first week of school. Let me walk you through what I use for my band binder. So I have kids get a 1.5 inch black view binder. That way they can put covers in there and the binding. This is a beginner's binder, and I just haven't had a chance to get them their covers that'll go into there. The first pocket will be their band method book. Our district uses Sound Innovations. There's a lot of great method books out there. It works great. Next is the pencil pouch. We do use the Korg metronome tuner as well as the pickup microphone. Mechanical pencils, or as I like to call them with my kids, mechanical pencils. And I don't use highlighters with my beginners, but I do use highlighters with my 7th and 8th graders into my more advanced ensembles. The first section of the binder we label, and I actually have this on a slide, on a Google slide, that tells them exactly what to label everything, and I give them Sharpies and everything. The first section is their rhythm. And what I'm doing different this year is I use the Teaching Rhythm Logically sheets by Darcy Williams. And instead of having them put all of these into sheet protectors, this year I had a parent volunteer copy and bind them. I think these are 1/4 inch bindings, if I remember correctly. That way their binder isn't so heavy. When they have all those sheet protectors, the binder just falls down. So this is a way of saving some weight. The second section of their binder we call warm-ups. That's where students use my Essential Foundations warm-ups. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, it's on my website, mikeperezband.com. There's sample pages in there. But that's where we put our warm-ups. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, something I'm experimenting with this year is we're using pocket dividers instead of regular dividers. That way these binded booklets can go right into a divider. So they go through their next section. The third section of their binder is their music. That's their sheet music will go into there. Fourth section of the binder is information. That's things for like fundraisers or concert information. Any documents that you need to especially go between your classroom and home. That's our fourth section. Our fifth and final section of the binder is our practice record. Again, this is a beginner, so they don't have their practice record in here yet. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna put that in their sheet protector, again, so it has a good chance of making it back and forth home. The last thing they'll put in their binder, I use the 5-minute theory books. I think they're great. I especially use those when I'm doing playing tests. Students work out of those books while I'm doing playing tests going down the row into the classroom. My biggest tip with the binder is get it done that first week of school. Do not wait. Take the class time to get these organized correctly. And as you probably know, you can tell parents over and over and over, and it takes them forever to get the contents of that binder. So send out a lot of notices, as many as you can. I do a beginner band meeting before the start of the year. I actually do a Google Meet with all of my beginners. And I talk about that band binder being an important part of coming prepared that first week of school. So I would say right now we're in our second week of school. Roughly 80% of my kids have everything they need, and about 20% are missing materials, whether it's the dividers or the pencils or the tuner. We're right at about 80% right now. My goal is by next week to be at 100%. So the band binder with beginners, really important. Take the time, get it organized, help them to get it organized, and then as the year goes, about once a month, take 2, 3, 4 minutes, walk them through and make sure that they're keeping it organized. These are middle schoolers, young band students. They're gonna just shove things into the pockets and not take the time to put it in the sheet protectors. You have to remind them fairly constantly. For my ensemble tip of the day, one of my favorite warm-ups to do with my 7 and 8 bands, that's my full band setting, non-beginners. I love starting the year having them turn to their fingering chart. So we do concert F, and then one of the second things I do, they open up to their fingering chart. I use the Foundations for Superior Performance book with my 7th and 8th grade ensembles. They put their fingering chart on their stand. I turn the metronome on to tempo 92, and I usually do octave drones. We'll start on concert F. They find concert F. They'll say the note name, They'll show their pairs and trios, the people next to them, their fingerings, and then I count them off and they'll play a concert F for 8 counts. Then we go to the next half step lower and I tell them, okay, go to the next lower note in your fingering chart. Say the note name, show each other the fingering, 1, 2, and then they play the next note. And we just go chromatically down. By the way, I do have them say the sharp and flat notes for the names as they go down. We go usually down to the low concert F, low 6th position for the brass. Then we go back, we stop, and I go, okay, concert F again, everybody. This time we're gonna go ascending 1 note at a time. They say it, they show each other the fingering, they play it. For woodwinds, I don't have them do their chromatic fingerings on this particular time. I want them to learn their primary fingerings. And that's the whole thing of this exercise. It's not about learning the primary fingerings. They've already learned those before. This is just a great way to start the year, reminding them, hey, here's your note names that you're gonna play. Here's the fingerings and positions you're gonna play. And just to start getting them to already start expanding their range and playing from the first day. I do that with all of my bands, my symphonic band, which is my top band, my second and my third band. It's just a wonderful way of starting the year, just getting the kids reminded of their note names, their fingerings, and all their different ranges. Try it. It's a great way of starting the year with your kids, and it just covers so much content of what they need. Thanks.